On December 1st, a wave of extreme weather swept across South and Southeast Asia, triggering one of the deadliest climate disasters of the year. Unrelenting rainfall, powerful cyclones, and unstable terrain combined to produce catastrophic floods and landslides, leaving entire regions underwater and communities in ruins. As emergency reports came in from multiple countries, it became clear that this was not a single disaster, but a regional crisis unfolding simultaneously across borders. Indonesia was among the countries hardest hit. In the provinces of North Sumatra, West Sumatra, and Aceh, days of heavy rain caused rivers to overflow and hillsides to collapse without warning. Villages were swallowed by floodwaters, homes were torn from their foundations, and roads connecting rural communities were washed away. Authorities confirmed at least 593 deaths, with 468 people still missing. In many areas, families were buried beneath mud and debris, while rescue teams struggled to reach survivors due to destroyed infrastructure and ongoing rainfall. The disaster extended beyond Indonesia. In Sri Lanka and southern India, Cyclone Ditwa made landfall with powerful winds and torrential rain. Coastal areas were struck by storm surges, while inland regions experienced flash floods and landslides. At least 611 people were killed, and 214 were reported missing. Thousands of homes were damaged or destroyed, farmland was submerged, and access to clean water and electricity was severely disrupted. Emergency shelters quickly filled as displaced families sought safety from rising waters. As response efforts were still underway, a second major storm compounded the devastation. Cyclone Senyar moved across parts of Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia, bringing intense rainfall and destructive winds. Authorities reported at least 1,167 deaths and 521 people missing across the affected countries. In some regions, communities that had barely begun to recover from earlier flooding were hit again, deepening the humanitarian crisis and overwhelming local disaster response systems. Scientists say these events reflect a dangerous and accelerating trend. Climate researchers have repeatedly warned that rising global temperatures are intensifying Asia's monsoon systems. Warmer air holds more moisture, leading to heavier rainfall, while warmer oceans provide additional energy for cyclones, making storms stronger and more destructive. As a result, extreme weather events that were once considered rare are now occurring more frequently and with greater intensity. Governments across the region mobilized military and civil defense forces to respond to the crisis. Soldiers were deployed to evacuate stranded residents, deliver supplies, and assist search and rescue teams. Helicopters were used to airlift survivors from flooded villages, while boats navigated submerged streets in urban areas. International aid organizations issued emergency appeals, calling for urgent assistance in the form of food, medical supplies, clean water, and temporary shelter. Environmental experts have also highlighted the role of human activity in worsening the impact of the disaster. In Indonesia, deforestation and land degradation have reduced the natural ability of forests and soil to absorb rainfall and prevent erosion. Hillsides stripped of vegetation are more prone to landslides, while altered river systems increase flood risks. In response, the Indonesian government announced the revocation of logging licenses in several affected areas, acknowledging the link between environmental degradation and disaster vulnerability. Beyond the statistics, the human toll of the catastrophe is profound. Millions have been displaced, forced to leave behind homes, livelihoods, and personal belongings. Children have been pulled from schools now serving as shelters, while hospitals struggle to operate amid damage and power outages. For many survivors, the loss is not only physical but emotional, as communities grapple with trauma, uncertainty, and the long road to recovery. Comparisons with previous years reveal a troubling pattern. Climate data shows that Asia has experienced an increase in extreme rainfall events, stronger cyclones, and higher disaster-related fatalities over the past decade. Experts warn that without significant changes in land management, urban planning, and global emissions reduction, disasters of this scale will become more common. As the region begins the slow process of rebuilding, attention is turning to prevention. Scientists and policymakers emphasize the need for stronger early warning systems, climate-resilient infrastructure, protection of forests and wetlands, and coordinated international action to address climate change. Without these measures, the devastation witnessed this December may not be an exception, but a preview of a more dangerous future. Climate disasters like this are becoming more frequent and more deadly across the world. What do you think governments and global leaders must do differently to protect vulnerable communities? Share your thoughts in the comments, follow our social media platforms, and subscribe for more in-depth global reporting.